Welcome back to J&J Dynasty. Got some draft results for you here, so let's get it started. All right, let's go into this, and so I can. Hello, everyone. What I'm going to be doing here is giving you an update on draft results for two different drafts for the first round. So what's going to happen here is um, I actually created a little spreadsheet and I've got May and June because there was only one draft in May, and I'm going to keep track in June. So I can also track if there's a difference, if guys are going up or down on draft boards based on as the time progresses here. So, uh, as always, if you like some information, find it useful, give me a thumbs up. You can always subscribe to the channel. Click the notification so you get this updated draft information, and we can go from there. All right, so let's get into this one. Maybe I can make this bigger, a little bit bigger. Let me check that out. It's going to make it a little bit more blurry, but there we go. All right, so let's start off with what everybody knows to be the truth as far as how the draft is going to go. Number one is Bijan, number two is Gibbs. Um, in both drafts and in how super flexes were going prior to this. So when I get to this next slide here, well, I guess I can show you. Oh, that was supposed to be after it, but Quentin Johnson is always staying ahead of Addison so far. So that's one of the good things that I'm seeing in here. That nobody's discounting Quentin Johnson, and everybody's picking the talent over Addison. Okay, so here we have it. So as you can see on the far left there, it says super flex. So I started off with the list of players, and I put them down in the order of a super flex from one of the videos before where I got the results, right? So and then after basically they ended on that, I just went through the rounds and put them in order of how they were drafted in the NFL draft. But as you can see here, the first draft, so that's column number 3, M13, and June, REN. Those are the two drafts. So that shows you the actual draft position of what they are. And sum all on the far right, that's what the average draft position is. And that's kind of how I'm going to run this video. I'm going to go off of the sum all, or the average draft position on the far right, basing because that'll give us an idea of where these guys are going to go in the first round. So it'll be a little bit confusing because I didn't sort it, but it makes sense from looking at the names on the left with the draft order there. All right. So we have that. So as we go on, Anthony Richardson here, he pulls in at 5'5". So I had to cut and paste this and slide things around. But as you can see over there on the Superflex, I assumed that he would probably be a mid-second. I thought he'd be more of like a Justin Fields from a couple of years ago, but he's not. He's winding up being much different. As you can see, he actually went 2 and 9. So he's solidly in the first round. He's as average as 5.5. All right. And as you can see, one of the things I was going to go over with, I guess, on the last slide, but I can do it now. Gibbs is the pick basically after Bijan. The one draft, the very first one, somebody grabbed Anthony Richardson at number 2. So I don't know if you're going to start seeing that a lot, but basically it's Bijan and Gibbs and Smith and Jigba, and then Quentin Johnson and Addison. That's almost chalk. That's how it went down in the second one here. But Richardson with his 9 draft pick and number 2 draft pick, that equals 5. So I'm trying to run it along, as I said, the sum all for an average draft position over 2 drafts. So this should start becoming more stable with more drafts, and the outliers get punched down. So as I was saying, some people are really getting after Richardson. The way it looks is you're going to have to get up to at least 1.9 to be able to get any shares of Richardson if you're drafting. So just to be known, Richardson, get at least 1.9 if you want a piece of him. All right. A-Chain, he seems to be coming right off the board right after the 4 wide receivers go. So, once Smith and Jigba Quentin Johnson, Addison, and Flowers going. HA seems to be the very next guy. So he's locking himself in at number 6 or number 7 right here in that. And then the other thing that I thought was interesting is Charbonnet is locking himself in also in the top 12. So he's had a little bit more movement, but he's coming in right after A-Chain. So, so as we can see here, so here is the actual completed first round. As you see on the right or left hand side there, it goes down to only 11, but you got to look up further. Richardson was rated 15, so that is basically the first round. But if you can look at the far right, the sum all, their averages, you can see, 1, 5, 6, 5, 7, and all the way up to 11.5 with Kendra Miller as far as an average, and a couple 12s with Charbonnet and Bryce Young. So that's kind of how it's just breaking down as far as the guys in the first round. Okay, I wanted to give a quick information snapshot to everybody so that you can see what's happening in the first round and who probably should and shouldn't be drafted in the first round. So, as you can see there, Kendra Miller is at 111 and Charbonnet and Bryce Young are at 12. So anywhere after 10, you can draft any one of those three and you're going to be right on the money. So, and I guess that's what I was going to say. I guess I misspoke before. A-Chain has been solidly down there at 7.5. So, I mean, if Addison's at 6, got a 5.5 and a 5, and then Kincaid is down there at 9. So A-Chain comes in right before Kincaid. So, Addison or Richardson, Kincaid, A-Chain. And then you get into Kincaid, A-Chain, and then Kincaid, and then the last three. So that's basically how it goes, or has gone in the first couple rounds. They're halfway through the second round on this draft. And I did want to talk about Kincaid just a little bit. He's one of the few guys who it seems to be is pretty stable in the mid-round spots there, right? So if you look at Kincaid, both of his drafts were at 8 and 10. So again, you have to get to about 9 to have a real shot at Kincaid. Same thing with Robinson. So 8, 9, 10, it seems like that's going to be a realistic shot for you for those guys. And hopefully this video is informative for you. Hopefully you get a little bit of knowledge. As always, hit the like button and subscribe for more information coming up. That's all I have for you. I tried to run through it real quick, not to make it a real long video, but that's what we have for you. All right, until next time, take care and be safe out there.